What are the latest trends in tokenization? Hi, this is Tom Field, Editorial Director with Information Security Media Group. I'm talking today with Gary Palgon. He's the Vice President of Product Management with nuBridges. Gary, thanks so much for joining me.
Sure, thank you.
So let's dig right into the topic of tokenization. What are the big issues that you're concerned about this year?
Well, over the last couple of years when the technology was really introduced, everybody didn't know what to do with it or what it was going to solve. And now we've seen the maturing of it. A couple of years in, now it's becoming more widely accepted, surely in the credit card industry, but we're beginning to see the trends that companies that are dealing with credit cards are now applying it to other types of data.
One of the things that strikes me is the difference between what happens in North America versus some of the other global geographies. Give us a comparison.
Yeah, so driven by the credit card industry originally, we saw in North America very tactical solutions to solving the problem, right? And in Europe, especially the UK, where it's probably the second hottest market, what they did is they took a step back and they really said, what is the strategic way to approach this? My guess is it has to do with the fact that they deal with a lot of compliance, trans-border issues and things like that. So they took a step back, and instead of jumping in and just solving a problem with, say, encryption, which it becomes high maintenance, they deal with it and they've taken a step back, looked at tokenization to strategically address not only credit card but other types of data.
Good. Let's talk about what some of your customers are doing. I'd be particularly interested in the business case they're making for tokenization, and then how they're executing. Are they doing in-house? Are they outsourcing?
Yeah, so it depends on what their needs and their business requirements are. So the mid to large enterprises, they're using the tokens for business processes. They need a relationship between the actual credit card data and the token. So a lot of those cases, they're taking it on-premise. They're in control of it. They can use multiple back-end payment processors. Smaller organizations, what we call level 3 or level 4, in many cases sign up for a single payment processor, don't necessarily need to use the token over and over again, and so in that case they often outsource it. But it's a combination. In the end, it'll probably be a hybrid strategy that many organizations end up with.
The other thing I'd be curious about is sort of the security case for tokenization. What can you say about that?
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. On one hand, you're dealing with compliance. That's PCI, the payment card industry, where you're trying to secure the information. And really the goal with the tokens is it becomes valueless, much like a casino token in a different casino or Disney dollars outside of Disney World. They're worthless. So that's what we're trying to do. So we find like a loss prevention system or a fraud detection system where it has tokens today which can't be redeemed for the actual values. So we allow the business processes to take place, but they no longer have any value for those that don't have the rights. So we're reducing the risk from an overall standpoint. And the same model then when they apply it to, say, a national insurance number or a social security number, again, if someone gains access to these tokens, they can't do anything with them, which is really, really important from a business perspective.
So where do you see tokenization going this year? The particular industries that you see the adoption stepping up?
Yeah, so one, cloud. Wouldn't be an interview properly if you didn't mention the cloud. So organizations are beginning to move, nuBridges as well, moving our proven technologies that have been on-premise for several years now into the cloud, giving organizations the opportunity to not have to deal with the management of the hardware, the software, the ongoing encryption and key management components of tokenization. So it makes it easier for them to onboard the security of their sensitive information.
So final question for you, a piece of advice for an organization that really wants to take a dive into tokenization, where should they start?
So number one, find out what rules and guidelines, regulatory things they need to comply with, right? And then take a step back from a strategic standpoint, get with legal, get with your risk group, then get with IT, and together come up with a plan that allows you to not only put a plan in place to address your near-term information, but also the sensitive data that you'll be securing down the road.
Very good. Gary Palgon, thank you so much.
Great, thank you.